I mean, I'm the type of player who is like, I know I'm going to learn things by going into training mode. So why would I not do that right now? Depending on how complex the game is, I can spend an entire week in training mode and not actually play the game. Whereas there are other people who are just like, I want to play the game. I don't know what this button does, and I don't know how it interacts with this button, but I know how to do Ryu crouch medium kick into fireball, so I'm gonna just play. I spend very little amount of time practicing combos because I'm fairly consistent in what combos I can do and what combos I can't do, so I usually just am like, oh, that's the combo I use. And then everything harder than that is like, oh, that combo's too hard. I can't do that. Except KOF 13. KOF 13 is very interesting combos. What's a decent online lab ratio? Depends on the game and the player. If there's something that you don't know, then go to training mode and figure it out. If the opponent's doing this over and 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 over again, and you just keep getting hit by it and you don't know what to do about it, then go to training mode and figure out what it does. Like, oh, it's an overhead that's +1 on hit, but if I block it, I get a punish. If you're losing to a very specific thing, go to training mode. If you're thinking something like, okay, if I'm up close and I have frame advantage, what is my mix-up? You can take that to training mode. You might, based on previous experience with other fighting games, be like, okay, these are the things that might work. But just getting a feel for what to do in what situations in an abstract sense is not something that you can just directly learn from training mode. That you'll learn from other players. You'll learn from thinking about the game, not so much labbing it, and, you know, reading. But things like, how do I get a safe jump here? It's like, yeah, you can lab that in training mode very easily. If it's a case where, oh, God, I don't know why I lost, then you watch a replay and see where you took damage. Like, why did you take damage there? What could you have done? So it's a combination of training mode and watching replays of yourself and others, and reading other external resources like the wiki or tutorial videos, things like that. Even in Tekken, it's like everything's slightly minus on block and everything's slightly plus on hit. Sometimes things are punishable on block, but like, what's really the difference between a move that's -9 on block and a move that's -4 on block? There's really no difference. If you jab punish a move that's -12, it's like, whatever, who cares? You could have gotten like 5 more damage by doing an optimal punish. That's not very important. What's important is that you understand basic Tekken concepts. My opponent does this, I can do this to beat that. Or if they do this, I can do this to beat that. But only at this range and only at this frame advantage. But they also might do this, which beats that. So, it's a very knowledge-heavy game, yes. But I don't know how to lab specific situations when there are 50 characters and 200 moves each. Are there really 50 characters and 200 moves each? Are there really? I don't think so. Because I think every character has a 10-frame jab that's plus on block, but hits high and doesn't track. So you can duck it or sidestep it. It's not really different from character to character. Some characters get better stuff off their jab on hit, like Akuma. So yeah, technically every character's jab is a little bit different, but it's not really different. So once you learn how to deal with jabs with one character against one character, you know how to deal with jabs with every character. You just duck it, or you sidestep it, or you block it and take the frame advantage. And you might say, well, that's jab, you know. Everything else is different. Is it? Not really. Memorizing your strings is important, but you shouldn't memorize this string is this minus and I should do this move in the situation, because the situations will repeat. Just because one character has a move that's -3 and another character has a move that's -3, that doesn't mean that they're different situations. Like, they're both the same situation. You're -3 in both situations. Like, and what you do at -3 is the same from character to character to character. The high, mid, low track, yes. Memorizing the properties of moves, yes. You will need to do that. So just play more right now. That's not what I said. You can play more. That's possible. But what if your opponents suck and they're not doing something that you don't know exists? Well, I would say look at each move. Look at each move once and be like, is this a problem? And sort of categorize it. Is it slightly plus? Is it slightly minus? Is it punishable? If there's no option to like chain out of it and get like a frame trap that way, then it's just a move. It doesn't really matter. They're all the same move. It's just that some of them have tracking on them.